Hello and welcome to Core with Court. Today we are going to do a reformer-inspired mobility exercise. This is a great exercise. You get a little bit of more engagement in your core while we also work the mobility in your hips. It'll be really good if you are a runner. So all you're going to need is a TheraBand. So if you have one, you're going to grab that now. Otherwise, you can mimic the exercises with me without the band. It'll just be a little bit more free and not as mobility focused. All right, so whenever we're ready, we're going to lie all the way down on our backs. Once you're laying down on your back, I just want you to sway your knees, just waking up that spine. Maybe dropping the knees all the way down to one side, feeling that spinal twist. Come back to center. Do it on the other side. Come back to center. We can begin to make these sways a little bit smaller here, just teetering to one side, center, the other side. Feeling that bone underneath us, it is our sacrum bone. We're just trying to find a place where we feel most balanced on it from east to west. Once you find that place, let's hold still. We're gonna think about pelvic rocking. So think of those hip bones, maybe you bring your hands down to them, and we're gonna release the low back down onto the mat, scooping the belly button. And then arch that low back away from the mat, lift those hip bones towards those thighs. And repeat, pressing that low back down into that mat. Feel that pelvis come up and into that belly button. And then arch away, let it go. Continue here, making it a little bit smaller each time. Locating where you feel best in your spine, but also a little engagement in that core. So maybe you have your entire back pressed down, maybe you have a tiny little arch. Once you find that place, we're gonna go into some marching. Let's keep our hands on our hip bones so we continue to stay in those two places of our neutral. You're gonna bring your right knee into your chest, lower it back down, left knee to chest, lower back down. Try and limit any movement on that sacrum bone and in that pelvis. We exhale as we bend in. Inhale, lower down. Great job. Excellent. We're gonna keep our right knee in our chest. We're gonna take that band. You're gonna fold it directly in half so it's even towards the bottom. You're going to tuck that band over your foot onto the arch. You're welcome to keep your left knee bent or lengthen it all the way down towards the ground. We're going to start with some lower and lifts. So you're just going to lower that leg down, press against that band, lift back up, and repeat. Lower that leg down, feel that rotation in that hip, lift back up. If you do not have the band, you are welcome to just continue to do this without it. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier if you keep that left knee bent. As you can see, I'm holding the band in only one hand, in my right hand, but you're welcome to hold it in both if you prefer that. Trying to keep yourself anchored on both sides of the body as we lower and lift. You have 3, 2, and last one. Pause that halfway point. We're going to bend that knee into our chest, straighten it back out. Bend that knee to chest, straighten it back out. This is where I'm going to hold it with both hands so that my knee is not going up against those straps. Really fight that strap as we press away and resist a bend in. Keeping that foot flexed as if it's stamping up against a wall. You're gonna go for 3, 2, and on your next one, send that foot out. We're gonna combine those two movements. I want you to bring that leg up towards the ceiling, bend to chest, send it away. Lift to ceiling, bend to chest, send away. Going into those bicycles. On our next one, let's reverse those circles. You're gonna straighten that leg all the way down. Bend to chest, lift up to the sky. Lower down, bend to chest, lift up to sky. Great job. Keep those hips evenly pressed down on that mat. And let's hold this next one up to that ceiling. I'm gonna pass the strap into my right hand. We're gonna go into some leg circles. I like to externally rotate my foot so my heel comes down towards the bottom left corner of this mat and my toe comes up to the right corner of the ceiling. We're gonna rotate that foot, coming around. So you're gonna swipe it to the right, swoop down towards the left leg, come back up to sky, and repeat. Swipe to right, swoop down towards the left foot, come back up to sky. You can make these as big or as small as you would like. The bigger they are, the more flexion you'll get for your hips. The smaller they are, the more work you're gonna get in those abdominals, trying to keep that core balanced on that mat. Last 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna reverse those circles. You're gonna cross over your left foot, swoop down, come back to center. Over that left foot, swoop down, come back to center. Great job. Feeling that thigh burning up here. Last 3, 2, and last 1. All right, you're gonna reach forward, grab onto that strap, just opening up the back of that leg, keeping a soft bend in the knee if you need to. Otherwise, you can keep that leg straight. We can begin to lower that leg over to the right side. Feel that nice stretch for that hip as we keep that left hip down. Bring that leg back up to the ceiling. We're going to cross it over the left, going into that IT band stretch. Bring that leg back up to the sky, bend it in. We'll take that band off of our foot. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you can just bring that foot back up to ceiling and place that band on it. I will not have enough room, so I'm going to swing myself around. All right, placing that band onto the arch of that left foot now. We're going to lower that leg down, lift back up, lowering down, lift back up. Exhale to lower, inhale to lift. On our next one, we stop that halfway point. We're going to bend that knee in, press it back out. Bend knee in, press away. Exhale each time you press out, keeping that foot flexed. Bend back in. Last 2. And last 1. Send that leg all the way out. We're going to lift it up to the ceiling, bend it back in, straighten it back out, lift to ceiling. Exhale, press. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. On our next one, we're going to lift to ceiling, lower down, bend into chest, Lift back up to ceiling. Lower down. Bend into chest. Make sure those hips are staying even on that mat. Last 3. 2. And last 1. You're gonna lift that leg all the way up to the ceiling. We're gonna go into those circles. You're just gonna find that external rotation if you like that on the other side. We're gonna swoop down to the left side, come up and around. And repeat, down to the left side, swoop up and around. Keep that core knitted at that midline of the body, while that right hip tries to stay anchored onto that mat. Go for 3, 2, and 1. Meet me back up in the sky. We're going to reverse that circle, crossing over the right leg, swoop down and around, and repeat. Cross the right leg, swoop down and around. Try and keep those hips nice and even on that mat. Resist any movement out of them. Go for 3, 2, and 1. Lift that leg up towards that ceiling. Give that band a nice stretch as you open up the backs of that thigh. We'll open that leg over to the left side, opening up that hip flexor. And then slowly cross that leg over for that IT band. Come back to the ceiling, bend that knee in. You're gonna keep that strap on its foot. We're gonna reach it out towards the other one. We'll connect both feet underneath that strap. We're gonna go prep for our roll-ups. So you're gonna keep the arms nice and long, holding onto that band. Lift our head, our shoulder blades, 1 vertebrae at a time comes up. We stack into our seat. Feel the center of those hip bones. We're going to wheel our pelvis forward, find that rib to hip connection as we lower down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Drop the head. And again, slowly finding that articulation of that spine as we lift up to our seat and lower all the way back down. This will be our last one, and we'll stay in our seat as we wheel that pelvis up, finding that seated position, feeling those sit bones. Reach up. We're going to continue with half roll downs now. So we're going to keep this band on our feet. I like to wrap the band around our knuckles 1 time, just so I can have some more grip on them. We're going to keep our arms nice and long. Start. We're going to sit directly on those sit bones, keeping that spine straight, keeping those shoulders down. We're going to find a round back. So I want you to think about wheeling that pelvis forward, finding that rib to hip connection. Lower down as if you're going to drop the head down to find that shaky place. Exhale, come all the way up to seat. And repeat. Wheel pelvis forward. Find that rib to hip connection. Hold there. Find that shaky place. Exhale, lift up to seat. And 1 more. Come back up to seat. On our next one, we're going to lower down. Find that shaky place. Hold there. You're going to untuck one of those wraps around your knuckles, and we're going to go into a row. Bending in, straighten back out. Bending in, straighten back out. Feel that core shake a little bit by rowing those hands in. You got it. Keep reaching those rib cages down to those hips, holding that round back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up to your seat. Reach down to your toes. Take that stretch. All right, when we are ready, we're gonna switch to a bicep curl in our shaky place. So you're gonna wheel that pelvis forward, find that rib to hip connection, hold in that shaky place, scoop that belly button in and up. Bend those elbows in, straighten back out. Bend elbows in, straighten back out. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift all the way up to that seat. Take that reverse stretch down to those toes. Great job. We can take that strap off of our feet. We're gonna just switch over to our arms to end our class today. So we are gonna make our way into a high kneeling position. So on our knees, if your mat is a little too flat for you, you're welcome to fold it in half. That'll give you extra cushion. You're also welcome to stay seated in your crisscross. We're gonna have the band nice and long, and we're gonna hold it onto our right and our left hand. We're gonna lift it up at shoulder width apart. And we're just gonna think about opening that chest as we separate those hands. Come back to shoulder width apart. Open that chest as we open those hands. Come back to shoulder width apart. Exhale, reach, opening up that chest as we squeeze those shoulder blades to meet in the middle. Closing back down. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Keep those shoulders pressed down into their sockets and keep your gaze forward. We have 3, 2, and hold this next one. Staying nice and long, opening up those arms, separating that band. We're gonna lift up towards the ceiling, lower back down towards our chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower down. Keeping the shoulders down as we lift those arms. For 5, 4, go for 3, 2, and 1. Drop those arms down. We're gonna open up a diagonal. I'm gonna mirror you. You're gonna have your left arm at the top. Your right arm is going to be down towards the bottom. Give some slack into that strap. You're gonna exhale, break that band in that diagonal. Lower back down. Exhale, find that diagonal. Lower back down. Make sure your thumb isn't dipping down towards the ground so you don't get any pain in the shoulder. You want your thumb and your pinky to be parallel to both sides of the room. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. For 4, 3, last 2, and 1. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Give that shoulder a quick roll. And then we find those arms. We break that band for that diagonal. We close it back in. Find that diagonal. Close back in. You wanna squeeze those glutes. Make sure you're not leaning towards that back, keeping that back nice and straight. Go for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Straighten those hands out. Let's get that stretch again where we lift up, lower back down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower down. For 3, 2, and 1. Drop that band all the way back down onto its ground. Great job. Let's just do a quick stretch for those shoulders where we go into our all fours position. Let's lift that arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Drop it underneath, thread that needle, lower down onto that shoulder. Maybe you sit down into your ankles or you extend that top arm out long on that mat. Bring that top arm back in. Unthread that needle, look up to the ceiling. Place that hand back down. Let's do the other side. Lift up the opposite arm now. Gaze comes up with it. Exhale as you thread that needle. Lying onto that shoulder, sitting down into those hips, and maybe extending that top arm. Bring that hand back in. Lift up that chest, unthread that needle, gaze comes up, hand comes down, and you are done. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a workout, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bring that leg straight up to the sky. We're going to do some stretches here. So you're just going to hold that leg upwards.